Hey everybody, hope you're managing or having a good quarantine or lockdown or working from home or whatever your version of this is. I'm coming to you from my apartment actually right now, where we've been holed up for the last 4 days. Pretty weird times we're in. So anyway, I just felt like since we're all probably going through some stresses and difficulties right now with everything that's going on, I thought it might be helpful to share some tools or thoughts and inspiration that come to me about some of the challenges that you might face in communicating or existing in your relationship during this really stressful time. Because obviously stressful times create more pronounced or exaggerated issues often for a lot of people just within themselves, but also in terms of communicating with their partner, interacting with their family. There's probably a lot of fear. You're probably experiencing a lot of fear or uncertainty, and that's just going to exaggerate any difficulties that you're having and also create new difficulties. So the first one that came to me this morning to share was about what I called misdirected anger. So basically the thing to know here is when you're feeling fearful and you're feeling concerned about a negative outcome, like we're all kind of feeling or wondering about right now, a lot of times that's going to bring you down. Like you might spiral down or spiral into some sort of difficulty or some sort of panic, some sort of bodily constriction or stress, or you might be in your mind or whatever. And the way that our consciousness is developed is we have all of these reactive tools within us to get out of uncomfortable situations. So when you have this type of fear, a lot of times you're going to end up feeling powerless, right? You're going to feel small or powerless or, out of control. And you're going to want to get out of that feeling. So you're going to want to take some sort of action that will help, or you think might help, get you out of that feeling of smallness or powerlessness or lack of control. And so a lot of times that for some of us, I'm one of these people, but for some of us, that sort of desire to move out of that feeling will take the form of anger, right? Anger is a really powerful emotion. So if you are feeling really stuck or out of control, a lot of times what's going to happen naturally is you're going to feel some sense of anger about what's happening or about some small thing that might be going on in front of you that doesn't really have to do with the bigger picture of coronavirus or what's going on around us. And that anger will be what it's wanting to do is help you bust through, right? Bulldoze the situation, take some sort of control of anything, right? Just change anything. But so it might be I'm feeling a lot of fear about my financial security or my job, and the way that this is getting expressed is in the moment I'm going to say something really angry toward my wife, or get really pissed off at my kid about something small because I'm trying to I not consciously doing this, but what's arising in me is this utilization of anger as a way of creating some sense of control or some sense of relief from that discomfort of the uncertainty or breaking out around it. So you might just notice yourself, right, getting really angry about something super small, and you might not even know why am I making such a big deal about this, or you might feel out of control, or you might regret saying something really negative to your partner or to your kids or to your family member or whatever. Any other options of people that you're quarantined with. And basically, instead of that, what you want to do is see if you can identify what it is that you're imagining, what negative thing that you're imagining happening, that you're concerned about, that you are actually trying to create some sort of angry force through. So to give you an example, the other night, Augie, my son, has had a fever, and so I was trying to get him to take medicine in the middle of the night, and he didn't want to take the medicine. I ended up getting really angry and trying to force him to take the medicine. And what's really going on is I'm feeling well, what if his fever doesn't go down? What if it gets too high? What if it's dangerous for his body? And I'm getting really anxious trying to bulldoze through that situation with anger so I can force the fear and uncertainty and concern to go toward something that I now have control over. And so it's sort of an unskillful way of trying to address the concern, but makes a lot of sense because you can harness a lot of strong movement forward feelings. So when you're feeling this way, if you're starting to feel really angry, you might think, is this anger about something that I actually should be angry about? Or is this actually something that I'm concerned about, afraid about, worried about, that is taking the form of anger as a tool to get out of it? And so then if it's with your partner, right, you'd say, okay, like I'm getting really angry about this, but actually what's going on is I'm just really worried that like Augie's not going to take the medicine, his fever's not going to go down, and then something bad might happen. It's really stressing me out. How can we work together to like help him make sure that he gets the medicine, right? And then if you find yourself kind of bursting out of control, like sometimes this sort of thing is an out of control emotion, you can also go back and apologize and be like, hey, here's the thing that I was concerned about that I wasn't really able to express very well in that moment. And it'll create more connection and empathy between you and whoever the person is you're talking to, which at a time like this, we need as much connection and empathy as we can possibly have for each other, because it is really freaky and uncertain right now. So I hope that's really helpful. So basically notice if when you think you're angry, you're actually feeling fear or concern about something, and see if you can pinpoint what that is. Like one trick to do that is just go, what am I imagining is going to happen with this particular situation, like the thing I said with Augie, and then expressing that instead of going to the anger to try to bulldoze out of the thing that you're concerned about. All right, well, I'll see you for number 2. We'll see what strikes me tomorrow or the day after that. All right, take care.